All right. Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Moon, Serena here. And today I'm going to talk about how, tomorrow I'm going to talk about how my drawing show, is going to be back on Cartoon Network or Cartoon Folkwork or Drawing Film Folkwork tomorrow. But this film is going to be about, just filming the outside because I wanted to be in the mood to do that. So, as you know, I've already filmed our outside of our house many times. Need be more times than I filmed the inside of our house. So tomorrow, about 5 in the evening, my show will be back on Cartoon Network or Cartoon Folkwork or Drawing Show Folkwork. And it's not the Deke one or the Cloverway one, it's the Viz one. Now I know that when it comes to the Sailor Moon followership, you got two sides. Those who love the Deke and Cloverway but hate the Viz. And those who love the Viz one but hate the Deke and Cloverway one. And you might ask me, what's my stance on it? Well, I like the Deke and the Cloverway one, and I like the Viz one too. I know that you're not going to hear that from many Sailor Moon followers out there. And a lot of Sailor Moon followers out there, are going to say, oh, well, you're not a true Sailor Moon follower if you like the Deke and Cloverway one. Now, first off, this is a big step in my show. Yes, my show coming first. My show, my show coming out on disc. Then a deal with Hulu. Then a deal with Netflix. But now getting it on Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork is a big deal. Now, Cartoon Network or Drawing Film Folkwork was the only show that may have given my show a lot more time and on-look. Yes, my show was on UPN and WB and Fox back in the day, but they never gave them a good time. 6 or 6:30 in the morning on, UPN, WB, Fox, and the watch time never did very well. And later on, when it was on USA had on about 8:30 on weekdays. And then later on, my show was on Cartoon or Drawing Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork. And my show ran from like 5 o'clock into 5 in the evening. And my show was on Cartoon Folk Network or Drawing Show Folkwork longer than it was. It ran from the end of between 98 YL until 2003 YL. That was how long it was on for. Way longer than it was on UPN or WB or Fox, because they only had it between 95 YL. And USA only had it from between 97 YL until between 98 YL though. So it being on Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork again on Toonami or the Dawnlandish, arm of Drawing Show Folkwork, which they would have a lot of drawing shows from Dawnland on there. Now, a lot of folks thought that it would be on Grown Up Swim, another arm of the Drawing Show Folkwork. It's like what Nick at Night is to Nickelodeon. That's what Adult Swim or Grown Up Swim is to Drawing Show Folkwork. And no, yes and no. A lot of folks thought that that's what it would be on. It would be on that block, that arm. Now, a lot of folks out there might wonder, Well, a lot of folks might say nowadays, look at these trees. A lot of folks will say, oh, well, Farseer is an old thing. No one watches anything on the Farseer anymore. It's all on the Reckoner or the Y speaker these days. Broadcasting is a dead thing. Streaming's where it's at. You know those wire cutters? Oh, yeah. Well, you see, there still are some folks who still watch things on the Farseer, you know? And cartoon folk work or drawing show folk work isn't like it once was. They're hoping that if they get enough folks to watch my show, then who knows, it might become big again. We might get dolls, in North Vinland again, the 4-1 Reichs, the settled land. Who knows, we might get film games in here again. That's if my show does very well on, Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork. I hope it does well, And for a lot of folks, my show being on there, was where most of them end up watching my show. Most of them, didn't get up early enough, between 95 YL to watch it on UPN or WB or Fox or whatever. And some folks, well, I don't know, they may have seen it on USA. At the end of the day, I know that a lot of folks are going to say that it's a big deal to get my show back on Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork, because my show hasn't had any broadcast deals in North Vinland and 4-1 Reichs in the settled land since 2003 YL when the deal ended. And except for streaming deals with, Hulu or Netflix, that's as far as it ever went. So I hope that it does very well. And about 5 tomorrow, I'm going to watch that. Now, a lot of folks might also ask and say, well, what about Dragon Ball Z? What about Lindworm Ball Z? Oh, that's another one that my show has also always been settled with all the time. Either it was a lead-in show of mine, or it was a show that came on before my show, or it was a show came on after my show. And once again, this time around, this time my show's going to be the first show on, and then that show's going to be on after mine. It's like I can't seem to get away from that show. Well, anyway, I'm happy that my drawing show, the Viz English one, will be on Cartoon Network or Drawing Show Folkwork starting tomorrow. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it every day. There's going to have one, or every once in a while. I don't know. We'll have to see how it works out. So if you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Sorry for that clearing of the throat. And don't forget to give me a thumb up. Like this, share and playlist this film. And watch the other film we made earlier today, when Sailor Saturn and Sailor Ringworld fought the Rock or the Stone. And don't forget to also hit that ringer and bind to let you know when the next upload, live stream, or short will happen. Sailor Moon Serena, and I'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.